Right, now we're going to start with a revelation, because this new Evoque was not designed by Victoria Beckham, nor was the last one. I know. Didn't know that, did you?
Well, I wanted to be suitably fitting, so I've come to the Lords of the Manor Hotel here in the Cotswolds to have a look at this newly designed Evoque. This is the front of it, this is the rear, and here is Andy, our own butler. The cockpit is nicely improved, as are the materials on offer here, which are rather like a kind of denim and velour sort of soft mix. A suitable choice, I thought, over leather, which is a bit passé now, to be fair, and a nice idea, not of Victoria's.
This, on the other hand, is the man who designed all the Range Rovers. His name is Gerry Mcgovern. There he is, look. He did the Velar, which this looks like, and all of them. He's a very clever man. He lives in Warwickshire, he's English, probably in a very big house.
Here is the boot with 1,383 litres of space. Here's the pan roof, which is an extra £1,100. Oh, and here's Andy again. There he is, look. This rear view mirror of Gerry's is not just a mirror, but actually a camera as well, fitted in the rear fin, enabling good vision out of an Evoque, and it's bigger inside as well. Two extremely smart upgrades to the old one.
Add £235 and you'll get a nice ambient light pack. This whole area will be bathed in a colour and mood of your choice. What about £135? Because for that you can get a modified cup holder, which is actually a phone charger, which goes here, which is good, isn't it? Right next to the hot cup of coffee. Gerry.
Right, now there's a couple of really good inventions coming up, but first let's take this on a typical British road for a road test. And if you're watching in the US, yes, all of Britain looks exactly like this. It is just very beautiful. You will get one engine, which is a 296 horsepower 2-litre gas engine. The UK will get a lot more choice of engines.
Entry level for one of these is a D140. It's diesel and has 150 horsepower. It's not brilliant. It has a 0 to 60 of 9 or 10 seconds, weighs about as much as a heavy 5 Series, and believe it or not, it's not all-wheel drive. In fact, it's front-wheel drive. However, it is a brilliant way of getting into an Evoque. The cheapest deal I saw was under £250 a month on Leasing.com, with about £2,000 advance rental, which was all right. If you want the accurate prices, you can obviously click up here. But obviously don't click it now, because then YouTube will think you're bored, and then there'll be a phone call. It'll be leasing. Hello Howard, it's leasing. All right, go on. They're bored. Are they?
At first glance, it does seem to be a very well-engineered product. At least, I think so.
Got a bit of an issue just now. This footplate, that came off.
That's clever, isn't it? They're testing me, aren't they? Is he a good reviewer? Let's put... Yeah, will he miss stuff?
Now, you might have seen some comparisons between this and the XC40, and arguably, as this is essentially a mini SUV, that is fair enough, but I don't know whether it is, you see, because the XC40 is a mini SUV, a budget mini SUV that's actually quite expensive. It's good, but it isn't a Range Rover. As far as I'm concerned, this sits in its own niche, the Range Rover niche. This won't matter to you, but it does only to me. Now, all of the engines are 4 cylinders, which is strange, and I've said it before, it's disappointing. They're good, but hang on. The V6 engine that Jaguar Land Rover does is the best diesel engine in the world. I know that diesel has only got 5 minutes life left in it, but just for me, I'd have preferred a V6 version. Even the performance one, which is a P300, so petrol, 300 horsepower, yeah? Now that is also a 4-cylinder engine, and that to me is just a little bit disappointing. However, it won't bother you, and it won't bother anyone who gets an Evoque, because let's be honest, people who have an Evoque, they don't sit in Costa and talk about their horsepower. Oh, what did you get? The 240? Yeah, no, I like the lower end torque. No, they don't. 2 questions. 1, does the baby go in it? Yes. Does it look good outside David Lloyd? Yes. Good. Right, I have a blue one then. On now to a couple of my favourite features, and they are here in this beautiful array of finger mark collection. I love this. This is great. At the bottom, you've got the vehicle controls, whether you're on snow or gravel, and you've got these lovely multifunction dials, which are so addictive to touch. They're amazing. At the top, you've got your navigation, media and phone, of course, your maps. all of that looks nice kind of as it is, as a screensaver. But if you don't like it, obviously all Jaguar Land Rovers now have Apple and Android. If you have the 360 camera, you also get a thing called Clear Sight Ground, which when you press that, not only will you see out of the back and through this camera, but you can see through the engine and see the front wheels. That is a brilliant invention. Obviously they didn't send us a car with that on it, they just sent a bit of extra plastic from earlier, but it is a very good invention, and there's more. Yes, there is. This is also a mild hybrid. So this engine is assisted by a 48-volt battery, which works like this. So the energy from the braking goes along here to a thing called a converter. It takes that energy, then charges a 48-volt battery here somewhere under the seats. Then it stores that up, turns it round, sends it back to the converter when you accelerate, and from there to the engine, assisting the engine like a normal hybrid, better for economy, performance and general refinement.
Step up to an automatic, add some power, and you immediately hit something like 300 and something a month on very low miles. For this money, you won't get leather, the posh cockpit, a two-tone coloured roof, some nice wheels or electric seats, but you will get reverse camera, lane keeping, emergency autonomous braking, and the Touch Pro 2 screens and nav you saw just now, along with a completely new and noticeably improved steering and suspension system. And of course, all the Range Rovers have that all-wheel drive magic. This one includes automatic terrain response, which will work in some of the most challenging driving environments ever, even some highly dangerous ones like floods or very deep water.
Now, this is the best I could do. I did ring the Coast Guard and said, can we do like go through the sea? No, wasn't really down with that. So he said, can you find a Ford? That's fine. Here we are. Now this car has 600 millimeters of wade depth, which is a lot more than this, and a lot more than a normal car, which is 100 millimeters. So yeah, this car does an awful lot for the money.
Cleverly, this one does a brilliant 42 miles to the gallon, and most of these are only £140 a year for VED. Plus, you sit higher up in this than you do in some of its challengers. As a result, this makes more sense to me than a Velar does.
I like that. You get a nice little picture of the Evoque. You kind of look down and there it is. I like that. That's really good. Do you know what would be even better though? Come on. What's his name? Gerry. Gerry, look. Why don't we have, like, if you have a red car, you could have a red car in there, not just a standard silver one, clip art. You know what? It's actually very comfortable, this, and it's quiet. Two things the last Evoque weren't so great on. Nice, like it. They've spent some time, haven't they, worked it all out.